Bertram. Thanks for joining me today on Good Ship Happens. And yes, a lot of exciting news, of course, as always, because once again, there's so many fun things coming up in the cruise industry, now more than ever, and new ships coming out. And they just made some big announcements for even like next year, the year after, which I'll share more about later. But also, one thing that came up today is the new Royal Caribbean ship called Star of the Seas just departed from Finland. Okay, that's true. It's actually built, but she's sailing right now across the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and then later on this August, she will be christened. Okay, and also this is a second sister ship to Icon of the Seas, which is the biggest cruise ship ever built. But they get great areas, so it's good too. I mean, sometimes people think, oh, this is maybe too big, but the point is to get so many different areas and things too. It's really good too. But also, as mentioned before, we'll show more about that later too, is with Star of the Seas, she also has a chief dog officer. Her name is Sailor, Golden Retriever, really cute, and she's going to be chief dog officer on Star of the Seas, which is great, but she's there to create fun and smiles, happiness for people, including people that work on the ship, so that's really exciting too. So yes, but anyway, she just departed from Finland, sailing over the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, and the fun thing is, what they did was, of course, they always like some really fun people to be christened the ship. Usually godmother, although Norwegian Cruise Line has had a couple of different godfathers too, but also they decided to have Diana Ross be the godmother christen the ship, which is great too. So it's really fun too, because once again, they just took the ship. She's sailing over, of course, from Finland, which is great. Sailed the U.S., and then she will be christened later on later towards the end of August too, which is great too. So that's really fun. The ship is called Star of the Seas, and she has a passenger capacity of about 5,610 guests. But once again, too, they got beautiful areas too, which is great too. Entertainment options, and it's really, really good things too. And also, who wouldn't want to meet a chief dog officer, especially if you like dogs? Yes, I do love dogs, and I've seen pictures of her. She's so cute, and the videos they've shared too is really fun too. So that's really great too. So much fun. Just we need them more than ever too. Some really fun things too. So yes, and then, of course, a new ship that actually debuted, of course, in April. I didn't get a chance to see her yet, but because I was busy on another new ship, but also another one that came out middle of April was actually Norwegian Cruise Line. Okay, and the Norwegian Aqua made her debut in Miami. Okay, and in this case, it was another great example of how sometimes cruise lines will actually pick a godfather, maybe not a godmother, christen the ship, of course, which is great. And they actually, as far as the christening ceremony, they christened the ship in the Port Miami on April 13th. And it really includes some wonderful announcements and things too. Also, what they did too is they selected a godfather, and the godfather who christened the ship was actually a very well-known actor. Really, really known actor, which is great too, and it's really fun too to have a godfather christen the ship. It was actually an Emmy Award-winning actor, Eric Stonestreet. He's a godfather. He christened the ship, and that took place Port Miami on the ship. Okay, and then they had different things that went on that night too. One thing they did too is one of the shows, of course, they had on this ship was their newest in-house production called Revolution and Celebration of Prince. Of course, it was a theatrical concert, experiencing, just the Prince, who's an Emmy a multi-Grammy Award winner singer, and then it was great too. And then, like I said, after they did the christening ceremonies, dinner, whatever, to entertainment, what they did was then they set sail on their christening voyage too, and they christened the ship in Port Miami because that's where actually Norwegian Cruise Line is headquartered. But also, they did that first christening cruise first. They came back. What they did was then now the Norwegian Aqua is sailing from Port Canaveral now, which is great. And all of their ships, I do go to different places, including I know what they're doing too is right now with the Norwegian Aqua sailing out of Port Canaveral, which is about an hour away from Orlando. I saw it several times, but it also includes visits on a cruise right now to Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, Tortola, which is in the British Virgin Islands, and Great Stirrup Cay, their private outline, which is great too. And she's sailing on these Eastern Caribbean cruises through this August. Then she's going to reposition, okay? They got different diverse dining options on board the ship too, some new ones, some company dining options too, but also what they did too is with this Norwegian Aqua ship, they've got a larger main pool, okay, and other enhancements, which is great too. And like I said, they've got other productions on board the ship too, including, of course, their new stage production, which salutes Prince and his music, okay, which is called Revolution, a Celebration of Prince. Also, they have mainstay productions too. They've got Elements, The World Expanded, which is a new enhanced version of their top-rated show, which blends in acrobatics, magic, and also stunning visuals too. They got The Price is Right Live, which is fun. It's similar to Gay theme show. Also got Rumors, Fleetwood Mac tribute, and then they've got also got an Ocean Music Fest, which is great too. So we've got different itineraries too. Right now on Eastern Caribbean sailing, she's sailing from Port Canaveral, and then later on, she's going to be doing a series of cruises departing from New York to Bermuda through October, and then she's going to return to Miami and be offering a season of 7-day Eastern Caribbean cruises through April of 2026. And they include, of course, Great Stirrup Cay, their private outline in the Bahamas, okay, which is great too. I've been there several times, and they just made a big announcement. What they're doing is they're expanding some things at Great Stirrup Cay. I'll share more about that later in a future episode, because they just made a big announcement with it's great too. So keep in mind, because once again, with cruise lines and the private islands, they're a great place to relax and explore. And once again, the only people on that island are people from the ship, which is great too. So it's not like you're immersed in too many things to see, do whatever to, what to choose, what to see. But it's a great place to really relax, enjoy different things. Plus, once again, with Great Stirrup Cay, they just made a big announcement. They're adding more to it, new sections. Also, what's really even better too is they actually are building a dock. So, with Norwegian Cruise Line ships, when they visit Great Stirrup Cay, they will no longer have to have you tender in to the island. They'll have a dock right there. The ship dock's right there. In the future, you get off the ship, walk back on, which is great too. So that's really kind of exciting, because once again, when it goes back to private islands, Norwegian Cruise Line was actually the first cruise line to actually have a private outline too. Yes, their first ones. It's called Great Stirrup Cay, and their first cruise line actually have a private out island. Then, of course, other cruise lines started following that too. A good example, of course, is with Celebration Key, which is Carnival Cruise Line's new private out island, which they just opened on July 19th. I'll show about that later on too. Also, another beautiful one I've been to a couple times now is actually with MSC Cruises. It's called Ocean Cay MSC Marine Resort, which is great too. So once again, it's really a great place. Great things that cruise lines are doing. They have their own private out islands. Because like I said, usually ships dock right there. In this case, with Norwegian Cruise Line, they're building finally a new dock, which is great too. And it's a great way to really explore fun things too. So keep that in mind too. So once again, how fun. Something else just came up too, which is really, really exciting, I think. Okay, anybody ever watched The Love Boat? Well, in my case, I watched The Love Boat a long time ago, and when I was doing my master's in business administration degree, MBA at Loyola, got home about 10 o'clock at night. I needed to relax before I went to bed, go to work the next day. But what happened was I watched Love Boat reruns, right? It's a good way to relax, okay? And you always have fun endings too. And the characters are so wonderful. And I actually had a chance to meet Gavin McCall a couple times. Captain Stubing. Also, I met actually Gopher and Doc too when I was on one of the Princess Cruise Line ships too, when she was being rechristened in Port Miami. Okay, it was great too. What they did was they just made a special announcement, okay? If you want to think about how you want to cruise with the cast of Love Boat, you can do it. They've got a special sailing coming up in November, which is great. And they just announced this, okay? So as you join, it'll be on the Regal Princess, okay? And they've got people that be on board are going to include, of course, cruise director. Her first name was Cynthia. I didn't realize that because I just always knew her as Lauren Tweez, okay? She was actually, of course, the cruise director. I love a TV series. Also, another one was guest star Sharo, a musician, singer, whatever. What they do is they just announce this. What they're doing is they just announce this, okay? So what they're doing is they're doing this on the Regal Princess, sailing November 16th to the 23rd. She'll be sailing on a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise. And of course, with Lauren Tweez, she was actually the cruise director. Julie McCoy. Also, I know that Jill Wayland will be on board. That was Vicky Stubing. That was actually Captain Stubing's daughter, of course. Frank Randy. And he was actually Bud Gopher, okay? I met him. He's great, too. Also, Ted Lang. He was the, Isaac, okay? Also, Bernie Capel, who was actually, who was Dr. Bricker, okay, which is great, too. So, once again, they're going to do a lot of themed activities, of course, on this special sailing. Also, some exclusive live performance by Sharo. And she sings, also plays Flamingo Guitar too, High Energy, which is great too. So it's really great because they just announced this week too, and they just mentioned that they're really honored to welcome Cynthia, Lauren, and Sharo on the Regal Princess, okay, to really celebrate the magic of the Love Boat to life, which is good too. So once again, as mentioned, they're going to include some original cast members, including Jill, the daughter, of course, Fred, Ted, and Bernie, which is great. And they've also got this exclusive captain package, okay? And it's going to offer guests really some beautiful experiences and special access, okay? And this special captain package is available, limited number of guests. And it will include, of course, highlights such as the Love Boat Lounge, the cast cocktail hour, the Bon Voyage dinner with Love Boat cast. Oh my God, how exciting, right? Also, really great commemorative merchandise to purchase too. And once again, as mentioned, this Love Boat themed cruise will depart November 16th from Galveston, Texas, and it will actually go to Cozumel with an overnight stay at port, and also Roatan on board their beautiful Regal Princess too. And once again, if you think back to Love Boat, that's really, really, really what, it was a famous TV show, but that really is what created such a passion for cruising today over the years, okay? And like I said, it took place on a Princess Cruise Line ship too, which is great. So once again, it's going to be so exciting to see this. I don't know if I can go or not, love to, but how fun, because I've met a couple other characters too, of course. I met, Bernie Capel, okay, Dr. Bricker, also Gopher, which is great too. Of course, we lost Captain Stubing. I met him several times. He passed away a couple years ago, but he's such a great person too. Once again, there's so much fun that they're actually doing this special cruise. Keep it in mind, of course, November 16th to 23rd. It's a 7-day Western Caribbean cruise, and you can actually book it right now. So definitely, if you're interested, maybe meeting some of these characters, definitely go check that out, because how fun is that? I mean, it's so exciting to think about that too, isn't it? Yes. Like I said, I watched The Love Boat when it first came out. Then I watched it when I got home from grad school at night to relax. But it was just a good way to kind of just experience different cruising options too, which I wasn't really aware of before. And that's how I kind of got into cruising too. And once again, like I said, how fun that Lauren's going to be there too, because she was actually the actual cruise director in the show. Julie McCoy too. But once again, how fun to think about that too. So once again, this is a special themed cruise coming up November 16th to the 23rd, Regal Princess, and she's going to be sailing out of Galveston, Texas, which is kind of fun too. As mentioned, what's really fun too is with Galveston, we have a lot of ships that are sailing out there too, which is great too. So once again, if you're interested, of course, check it out, because once again, it's the Love Boat Celebration at Sea. And like I said, it's going to be really fun because once again, um, as mentioned, the characters, the people from the TV show that will be on board include Jill Whalen, who was Vicky Stubing, the daughter, Fred Grandy, who was actually Gopher, Ted Lang, who was Isaac, okay, the bartender, and then of course Bernie Capel, who was actually the doctor aboard the ship too. And they got, as mentioned, this exclusive captain package, and you can actually do that too if you want to, purchase that too. But wait, what's really kind of fun too is just great. You know, I think it's so much fun they're doing this too, once again too, because once again, it's just a way that really cruising really took off after people watched the show and they thought, oh my gosh, this is so much fun too, okay? Something else that I mentioned too is with Norwegian Cruise Line, okay? What they're doing is they just announced this, okay? Besides having the Norwegian Aqua, which debuted in April, they're working on building a new dock right there for the ships to dock right there, which up to Tenerife. I mean, Tenerife's not bad, but like mentioned that too is with Great Stirrup Cay, that was the first private out island that any cruise line ever had, period, okay? They didn't have them. NCL started that first, Norwegian Cruise Line started that first. What they're doing is, with Norwegian Cruise Line, they're adding a water park to Great Stirrup Cay next year, okay? It's going to be coming to Great Stirrup Cay summer of next year. It's going to have 19 water slides, a dynamic river, a 9,000 square foot splash zone for children, which is great. And they've got their, it's going to be nearly 6-acre Great Tides Water Park. It's at the private destination, the Bahamas. And they've got, how fun too, they're called their Tidal Tower water slides. 8 of the water slides will be perched up 170-foot tidal tower, okay, which includes racing slides and also slides with rafts too. Another section of it's going to be called Cliffside Cove. It's going to have 10 and 15-foot cliff jumps, also family slide that could fit 4 people, which is great too. Nearby, they've got a hidden cave bar called the Grotto Bar, okay. Something else to mention too is the kids' splash pool. So it will be at the center of the water park. It's going to have 8 mini slides as well as a tipping buckets too, which is great too. Also, they've got, it's called a less lazy river. How fun, isn't it? Lazy river, okay. It's dynamic river is going to have a faster current than a lazy river, and it's going to include a tunnel simulating a beautiful sea too, which is great too. And then also for more thrills, they've got their new shore excursion will feature a small race course for recreational watercraft. And what's great too, as far as Norwegian Cruise Line, David Harrod, the president, mentioned this new water park is an outstanding addition to our recent announcement about other amazing new amenities on the island, soon to debut. And it's like they're just adding each phase, okay, which is great too. And they're going to have more details too later on this year. The new pool is going to be actually 1.4 acres. It's going to be called Great Life Lagoon. It's going to have 2 swim-up bars. How fun. Have a swim-up bar? Okay, that's really fun too, because the fun thing is, it's fun. I mean, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to experience a swim-up bar. I did once, a long time ago, when I was at Sandals Resort. They had swim-up bars. Really kind of fun too. But the fun thing is, with cruise lines, they do have those too. And like I said, they've got, going to have 2 swim-up bars. Also, their Lively Reef Bar will have a DJ, while Waves Bar will have be near the Kids Splash area. Also, Splash Harbor is going to be a 3,400 square foot splash pad. Horizon Park will offer long games, pickleball, mini golf, and also half sports court too. Also, what's really fun too is they've got their new hammock pave. That's going to have 50 hammocks with a dedicated bar too. Also, what's really good too is adults can access the Vibe Shore Club, which is more of, I think, for adults. Maybe it's an adults only area too, but you can actually purchase a day pass too. That adults only space. It's called Vibe Shore Club. We'll have a bar, hanging day beds, premium loungers, and umbrellas too, which is great too. So once again, they're adding some new things, including their water park to Great Stirrup Cay next year by the summer, which is great too. So once again, beautiful. Once again, this is their private destination in the Bahamas, but they're adding more to it too, which is great too. They just came up, of course, just this past week, which is great too. How fun though too, because once again, with the private islands, there's so many things you can do. And they keep adding more, which is great too. If you want to relax quietly, you can do that. You've got restaurants, cuisine to try. And once again, in this case, this is the first time that with Great Stirrup Cay, they're adding more things too, including a splash zone for kids. Okay. Also, they've got their water slides too. Kind of fun. They've got their Cliffside Cove, which will have 10 and 15-foot cliff jumps. They got a family slide that actually fits 4 people. And they've got their hidden cave bar, which is called Grotto Bar, which is fun too. So keep that in mind too, because once again, cruises are doing wonderful things with their private island, which I really, really like too. It's just so much fun to think about that too. Options. Once again, if you want to relax, you can do that too. Also, another thought too would be in the case of like MSC Cruises, with their private island in the Bahamas. It's called Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. I've been there several times, which is great. I was just there again in April on the christening of the new MSC World America, which is beautiful. But what's good to them is they had actually the MSC group, which is family owned, actually had leased this island from the Bahamian government, I think around 2016 or 17. The island was trashed, former manufacturing plant. Okay, they leased it for 100 years, paid $100 million to lease it. They actually spent over $400 million to get that island back up in shape. The trees were dead. They had to plant trees. They had to tow away scrap metal like crazy. And what they did too, when I was there in 2022 for the christening of their new ship, back then, they did sand cutting for a Marine Observatory Conservatory 2, which they just opened up. Was there in April too, which is great too. So once again, they're building coral reef trees. But when you get off the island, you walk right there. You can walk. They get different transportation, get you around. They got a separate area now just for people that are staying in the MSC Yacht Club too, which is great too. You get different places to eat, beautiful beaches, and what they do too is they stay later on at night. And what they do is at night they actually do a special white party on Ocean Cay MSC Marine Reserve. So you get back on, come back off. They suggest you wear white, which I did. You want to fail the test, but they had a really beautiful place. On the beach area with chairs, you can listen to music, you had food, it was great too, and they got this lighthouse, but it was sparkling, really beautiful areas too, and like I said, it was just great to experience that at night and just relax, and it's called their white party too, which is great too, so carefully keep in mind too, okay, and also something that came up too is I know that with Embassy Cruises, they've got a new ship coming out to the World Asia, which is going to sail in December of next year, okay? It's the newest flagship. It's going to be called the MSC World America. It's going to include the clubhouse, which is an exciting space where families can come together for high energy and fun, okay? Also, they're redesigning their Luna Park, the harbor, and also some other favorites coming on for entertainment. And I know with the World America, she's going to sail on 7-night Mediterranean itineraries from December 2026 on. And like I said, they're taking entertainment to a new level, which is great too. And as mentioned, she's going to start sailing in the Mediterranean in December 2026. And once again, it's going to have a wider venue as far as entertainment, guests for all ages, things for families and children to do too, which is great. And some things that they mentioned too is they got a new venue called the Clubhouse. And the Clubhouse is actually, it's a retro-inspired space where families can come together for high energy fun and creative play. And it's designed with a playful, timeless atmosphere. It blends in with table games, also the Lego family zone, bumper cars, basketball, and roller skating. It's a great place for, it involves during the day too, which is great too, because you can offer moments for kids and their adults too. Also a feel-good evening entertainment with a lively social setting. Also, as far as the Luna Park, they got a new design, okay? And what they're doing is they're going to have LED displays, immersive environments too, high energy performances that really draw the audience together, and also the main areas wrapped by activities, as well as their main nightclub venue in the evenings with curated DJ sets and party experiences running till past midnight. Also, guests can enjoy a new design bar at Luna Park, and there's some more details too. Also, the harbor. And the harbor returns on the Embassy Asia, which an Asian-inspired redesign. Is going to be an expensive outdoor park area, features a cliffhanger. Okay, the cliffhanger is actually swinging chairs. A swing, back and forth, top level of the ship, which I didn't do on the Embassy World America. I was kind of scared of heights, but some people loved it like crazy. It was so blocked up. People were right in line to get on the cliffhanger. But once again, it's very, very safe. But they're doing that too. And once again, too, with the World Asia coming out in December next year, she's going to be the only ship in Europe that really offers this really thrilling attraction too. Also, they've got families can actually explore their ropes, high rope course, water slides, also a dedicated children's playground, and also they've got the harbor is going to have their it's going to have their longest dry slide at sea, okay. And on the Embassy World America, they did have a dry slide too. It was called what is called? You jump into a shark, okay. Jaw drop. That was the name of the slide, but I didn't do it. It was like 10 flights down. I mean, it's very safe, of course, too, but it's a dry slide. They're having that on board too. Also, they got a panorama lounge, which is what they do too is they've got beautiful sea views, of course. They've got music, really beautiful dance floor area, and during the day it's going to host different activities from dance classes to performances, and then at night it's going to be a lounge for cocktails, cabaret style entertainment, and then they've got their World Theater, okay, and once again, it's going to offer a spectacular space for entertainment at night, including musicals, acrobatic shows, concerts, international acts, also multiple seatings will give guests a chance to really enjoy it in different ways too. And then of course, with the World Asia, she's going to have that open-aired boardwalk. It's called the World Promenade, which is gorgeous. And the ship really kind of transforms alive too. You can actually enjoy things there too. And they've got light shows, of course, live music performing, color events like their Lego parade, and street-style dance showcases too. And also they've got, you can actually go by the sports bar, okay, for energy, or if you want to indulge in some sweet things, you can go to Sweet Temptations. And also, like I said, as far as World Asia, it's coming out next year in December, as mentioned, but she's going to be offering 7-night itineraries to Barcelona, Spain, Marseille, France, Geneva, Civitavecchia for Rome, Italy, also Valletta, Malta, and also she'll have, which is great too, accessible embarkation for every port during the winter 2026 and 2027. And she's going to offer 7-night itineraries to Barcelona, Marseille, Geneva, Naples, and Messina and Valletta during summer 2027. And some other details about the MSC World Asia coming out next year in December. She's going to have more than 40 different bars, lounges, and restaurants, including some specialty restaurants, including some favorites they got on their other ships too, called Butcher's Cut, which is their steakhouse. They've got Kato Sushi and Teppanyaki. It's called Hona, Tacos and Cantina. Also, they've got popular bars and cafe venues, including MSC Cruises' classic British pub, which has a full-scale microbrewery, which makes their MSC signature beers on board. And they have that also on the World America, which is really great. It's really packed. They've got more than 20 different accommodations available, from luxury suites to to balcony cabins, stunning ocean views, which is great too. And they go, which is great too. They got their MSC Yacht Club on board, of course, too. This is their exclusive ship within a ship concept, okay? And what they did was MSC Cruises created this, oh God, it has to be at least over 11, 12 years ago, but it's called the MSC Yacht Club, okay? And it offers, on this ship, it offers 144 luxury suites. It's key card access only. You got a dedicated lounge and restaurant, your own private pool area, sun deck, and also 24-hour butler service and concierge, and it really is also easy to get to other places too. Once again, it's like their ship within a ship concept too, which is great too. And access to the rest of the ship, the thing that's really fun too is you got your own private pool, okay? Own private restaurant, your one sail lounge, which is gorgeous, of course, and butler service, concierge, which is great, key card access, and I actually had a chance to sail in the MSC Yacht Club on the Divina. It was back in, I think, maybe 2015, maybe. And we had a private area to actually board the ship, sat inside, and we were actually escorted by a butler to our individual staterooms, which is great, too. And the fun thing is, the butler went, I packed my clothes, okay? Really fun. In this case, with the Divina, they actually had their own private restaurant on the other side of the ship, and one night I was leaving to meet my friend at, let me use our dining room, private dining room, and my butler saw me and says, where are you going? I said, I'm going to Lemuse. He said, well, walk you over there. He walked me over there, okay? Private escort, right? But the thing is, we have a private pool area on the top deck, beautiful area, it's just beautiful. And now they expanded it because I was actually on the MSC World America, saw their, the MSC Yacht Club too there, and it's really beautiful what they've done. They've expanded it, which is great too. Once again, the whole area is just, you go from the one sail lounge right there in that same area, walk up, the dining room is right there, which is great. You walk out, you actually go to your own private pool area too, which is great too. And once again too is everything's included there too, which is great too. Also, you got access to the rest of the ship. So once again, definitely keep it in mind, because when I finally got a chance to sail on the Divina and the MSC Yacht Club last minute, got upgraded. The article was called Inside the MSC Yacht Club. The butler did it, but it was an amazing experience, just so wonderful. I mean, just loved it too. So once again, on the news coming out, the World Asia, it's going to have, of course, their yacht club, of course, too. And what's great too is I know that they got dedicated areas, experience for families. Okay, they've got their Doremi Kids Club, which features dedicated facilities for babies, also to teens, and family can also enjoy some original game shows, activities, a water park, video, arcades, also a virtual reality slide, and plenty more things to do too. Also, with their Ultimate Wellness Escape, they've got their adults only Zen pools, okay, which is on the back of the ship, the aft of the ship too. And they got their expanded Orient Spa, which is great. They've also got their MSC Cruises gym powered by Techno Gym. They got the gym and barber. They got 7 different pools, okay? One actually has a retractable roof for all-weather enjoyment. They got 13 hot tubs, right? And once again, too, they got different entertainment options available, including spectacular stage shows, multiple entertainment venues for every type of traveler, plus live music, enriching activities, games, surprises, and more too. Once again, too, is with MSC Cruises, their global cruise brand. They've got 23 modern ships that sail on cruises across 5 continents. Once again, you've got different countries you can visit too, which is great. And once again, too, is they have ships that sail out of course, Florida, other areas too, which is really great too. Because once again, this is their new ship coming out in December next year, okay? Which is great. So I think it's really fun to talk about that too. New ships are always exciting too. Something else that came up too is I know that if anybody had a chance to see the epic film called F1, which I did see, it was great too. What they did though too is MSC Cruises actually hit the big screen with the F1 movie. Okay, what they did was they were kind of featured, which is great too, and that show came out Energy, and I saw it. Okay, it was really fun too. What they did was they were kind of featured in that show too, which is great too. They partnered with the Formula One racing feature show, and it was great too because once again, it's about a former driver who was making a comeback, which is great too. And like I said, they just did some wonderful things. So once again, they kind of partnered with that too. So it was really, really great too. So definitely think about that too. Some analysis for new ships coming out too. Another one that just came out too was Explorer Journeys. Explorer Journeys is actually part of the MSC group, which is family owned, of course, too. And what they did was they actually have two ships right now. It's their luxury cruise line. It's called Explorer Journeys. What they did was they just did this announcement too, about a week and a half ago. What they're doing is they just marked 3 construction milestones in their Fincantieri yard, which is where they have their ships built, and they just invested $3.5 billion to build a fleet of 6 sustainable cruise ships, vessels, which they plan to have operational by 2028. And as mentioned, they just did this special construction milestones on July 14th. This took place in Geneva, Italy, Fincantieri's place. And after they flew out, of course, their Explorer 3 out of dry dock the first time, dry dock, that's their third ship. Fincantieri actually had their first keeling for their Explorer 4. And what they did was they actually celebrated this milestone. 2 godmothers, Carolyn Cooney Hirel, who's a customer journey strategist for Explorer Journeys, and also Franca Parisi, who's head of quality and performance for the Fincantieri. They actually laid out the ceremonial coins under the keel, which brings good fortune. For that was the Explorer 4 ship coming out. That was really kind of fun too. And something else they did too was actually, like I said, doing the first piece of steel for the Explorer 5, which actually marks the starting of this building project. It was really great too. So once again, Explorer Journeys has 2 ships, and they've got the Explorer 3 coming out later. Then they've got the upcoming Explorer 6 coming out later on too. Once again, too, is what they're doing too is with their ships. What's really great too, cruise lines are doing this like crazy. They're all doing it. They're using advanced environmental technologies such as underwater noise management systems, a full suite of energy efficient onboard systems to really optimize the engine performance and also cut fuel consumption, which is great too. In addition, their ships are going to be able to connect with shore power, and they'll run on LNG to really decrease emissions, okay? And they're also designed to operate renewable alternative fuels like synthetic LNG, liquefied natural gas, also bioliquefied natural gas too, and when those become available too. Also, the Explorer 5, Explorer 6 will actually be fitted with a fuel cell technology capable of actually converting LNG to a hydrogen to significantly reduce emissions at ports as well too, which is really great too. So once again, they're turning their vision into reality too, okay, which is great too. So I think it's really kind of fun. You think about that more than ever. It's really great what they're doing too as far as reducing emissions more than ever, because cruise lines do that too like crazy. And now moving into it too, which is great. So once again, definitely keep that in mind, because once again, they really want to take care of the oceans more than ever. And once again, sustainability, another good example, of course, is with MSC Cruises, MSC Foundation, and with the Ocean Cape MSC Marine Reserve. They're building coral reef trees there too, because they got the Marine Conservation Center there too, which is great too. But once again, it's really great they're doing too, And once again, just like I said, the Explorer 3 is going to actually debut next year. Okay, that's their 3rd ship. They have 2 sailing out right now, Explorer 1, Explorer 2. Also, they got the Explorer 4 and Explorer 5 in 2027. And then their Explorer 6 is supposed to debut in 2028. Okay, so right now, as mentioned, Explorer 1 is already in service. Also, the Explorer 2 is in service too. And their ships have all been built, are being built by Fincantieri. Okay, but once again, it's a really great thing to think about too, because once again, they sail different areas too. including Sport 1 and 2. They will do some sailings in the Caribbean, but they also stop at Embassy, their Ocean Cay Embassy Marine Reserve too, which is great too. So once again, new ships come out, which is really, really fun too. Okay. And it's really fun to share new things coming out with cruise lines too, because once again, they're really, really focusing on environmental things too. Any questions for me, Mark, or not?
I see we're wrapping up and everything, and I've got just a couple of the videos. It looks like some of the videos disappeared, but we do have one with the dog, and we got the short one on Celebration Key and everything like that. But I did know that you mentioned that they were doing that Love Boat cruise, and I had the pleasure many years ago of working with Ped Lane. There's a theater festival that is in Winston-Salem, and they had a thing called Reader's Theater where it's like works in progress, like the writers will be having works in progress, and they will assign actors to play different roles and everything like that. So you'll be reading the role while sitting in a chair. So it's not like blocked or anything else like usually what goes on
Right.
with acting. But they've been doing that for a number of years. I think the festival is close to 30 years old, but I think it was probably about 10 or 15 years ago that I had the pleasure of sitting on a cast with him and everything. It was about 5 or 6 other people, but I do know that he was playing one of the roles and I was playing one of the roles as well. So I did have the pleasure of actually working with Ted Lang, at least only for a hot
Oh
minute.
my gosh, did you really?
Yes.
I told you I met Gavin several times. He's been
Right.
with Cruise. He representing Prince Cruises after the Love Boat series went off. But anyway, he was at different cruise conferences and he spoke briefly, but you could actually meet him at their booth and have your picture taken with him too.
Yep.
Another fun story I mentioned too before was actually after my mom decided to retire and close the agency, the travel agency, I did some sales for somebody else on the side. But what happened was, my dad liked Tahiti, okay, and the year after my mom closed the agency, she was diagnosed with heel cancer.
Well,
So she had to have her right leg amputated below the knee, okay, but she survived. She got out of the anesthetic. First thing she told my dad was when I get fit on my fake foot. Well, it took us 3 months later. Me, my sisters, my niece, my nephews, right? Really, really fun. But anyway, cruises were easier. So I had them booked on Princess Cruises to go for their anniversary
oh well.
several times. But anyway, Captain Stewing, Gavin Clown was actually he's going to be there at the cruise conference, right? And what happened was I bought a happy anniversary card. Okay,
Oh well.
I had a chance to talk to Gavin McLeod briefly. I said, by the way, Gavin, I got my parents booked to sail on the Princess Cruise Line ship going to Tahiti. I said, when are they going to go? Can I go? I give him the dates. I can't go. I said, would you mind signing this happy anniversary card for me? So I gave him to him the cruise documents. He signed it. I gave my parents their cruise documents. We have print ones with
Right.
a happy anniversary card signed by Captain Stubing, Gavin McLeod.
Yep. You can't beat that.
No, really. And then later on, they bought their one ship over to the U.S. and it was there. They had already cruise ship out to the U.S. and they actually had that on board. They had the Love Boat crew members too, which is great. Gavin already passed away, but I got a chance to meet Doc and Gopher, which is really great too. So
Oh yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
They were great guys. Cool. And like I said, we'll go out with the short one with Celebration Keys as well as the dog one. But yeah, that was a fun story. Like I said, it was a pleasure meeting a couple of folks. And met, like I said, Ruby and Ozzy when they were living, Ruby D and Ozzy Davis, definitely Ted Lang, and worked with him on that particular Reader's Theater, and also Petrie Bird, who plays the bailiff on Judge Judy, and a number of other famous folks like that. So it was always fun to go. I think the next one will actually be in 2026 in Winston-Salem. It used to be called the National Black Theater Festival, but now it's called the International Black Theater Festival. So I might get a chance to see Ted again. We'll see whether I get that pleasure right now. It was fun. It was definitely good to see him.
Great. He was great. My God, amazing. Just
Cool.
amazing people, you know.
They are amazing people. That was a great show. I definitely loved the show as well. Right now, we'll go out with these two, and then we'll be ready to get out of here. But
Great.
I've got to find me some dinner and then get me some sleep. It's been a long day.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
As we're designing the best family vacation, there was one piece that was missing, which is, of course, the family dogs. And when guests go on vacation, one of the key things that they miss are their pets back home. And when our crew are sailing on board for their contracts, one of the things they miss are their pets back at home. And so we really wanted to make sure we brought a fluffy addition to our crew family. We went and got Rover, and here we are now for Star. We're picking up Sailor, and Sailor will be living on Star of the Seas.
Well, the Chief Dog Officer was an idea that we created actually when we were developing and concepting the Ultimate Family Townhouse. We were all sitting around saying, when you think about the Ultimate Family Townhouse, what does that mean? And all these ideas came around, and somebody threw out the idea of having a family dog. And we said, well, it feels a little selfish to have a family dog for just one family. Why don't we have a family dog for the family on board the ship? And so that's how the position evolved, and we thought, well, obviously it's a very important position, and of course all important positions on ships are called chief, so we thought Chief Dog Officer is perfect.
When we first came up with the idea for Project Rover or Project Sailor, we realized we don't really know a lot about what it means to take care of a dog on a cruise ship. And so we partnered with some of the most well-respected animal well-being certifiers globally to really help us create this program from the ground up and make sure that when Rover and Sailor are on board, they're having the best day every day.
So there's a very well-written, crafted position description that, of course, the Chief Dog Officer can't read. The key mission is to have fun, and that's exactly what Rover and Sailor do. They just have fun.
So Sailor is very small. She's about 16 weeks. And so when Sailor gets on board, she's going to take everyone's breath away. Sailor's life on Star will be full of adventure. She and her Chief Dog Officer role really means that she gets to go and explore the ship, go and explore our private destinations with our crew members, really just being that warm, welcoming family for her.
I just totally fell in love with Sailor. I fell in love with Rover as well, but I also fell in love with Sailor. she's so beautiful and loving and funny, and so I just completely fell in love. When we were thinking about the idea, one of the questions was, well, what will the crew think? Will the crew like the idea or not? And so one of the team members had a golden retriever and volunteered to bring the golden retriever down to one of our ships on a turnaround day, and we fitted the dog with a GoPro camera. It was very touching because after when we watched the video, so many crew stopped and hugged the dog and talked to the dog. When we saw that, we thought, wow, this is amazing. People miss their own family dogs.
And as we've done with Rover, as we're doing with Sailor, we really want to make sure we're focused on what's best for these animals. And really right now our focus is on Sailor and making sure that she is having the best life at sea when she gets on Star of the Seas in August.